Hello everybody, welcome back to the Boison Workshop. I'm Bob, and as promised, we're working on the pellet trap, and I've about got her done. I still have to put the legs in it, but before we do, I wanted to show you something that I've been working on. I went and made up a new part simply because it's been asked a couple times for me to make one, so I couldn't believe I hadn't already made one, but I guess I never really thought about it. So I went ahead and stretched the original band, put 2 set screws in it, and added Picatinny rails on it. Now this print is a bad print. I don't trust it. It's got a lot of lines in it where it didn't, it shows signs that it's weak there and it didn't adhere in that certain location. There's like 5 of them there. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, and then there's one at the edge, so it's 4. So, but anyway, I made a mistake. I went ahead and started printing this on another printer because this one wasn't printing very good, and it's printing really good, but I forgot to change something on it. We have the high lug as the center. We want the low lug to be center so that whatever you put in on your Picatinny rail will always be in the center. Otherwise you'd have to be off to the side, or to the back side, or off to the front side, and a little bit of your Picatinny whatever will be hanging off. So we want to change that, but this is for the Challenger, the original Challenger. So if anybody's interested in these, let me know. Not these here, I'm not selling. I'll use it on mine, but if it breaks, I can just print me a new one. You guys can't do that. So, but anyway, we've got our trap done. The only thing I got left to do is add the extenders. So I'm going to add those extenders. I've already got one of them put back together, and basically what this is a piece that slides into that one, and there's a hole in here to allow for that nipple, and you squeeze this spring, slide that in, squeeze it down, and then push it until it pops into the hole. Some of them's a little rough, but and then now all you do is just push that button. So I'll put the rest of these together, put them in there, and we'll be back. Enjoy the music. Alright, that's a workout, man. Messed up my targets. Alright, so I'm probably not going to have them legs out that far, depending on how unlevel the ground is. But that's what that's for, is for adjusting for whatever ground you're on. And these things are going to be scratched all to pieces, and that don't want to hang. And but these here will fold up. So I've got 2 screws right here that I haven't tightened up yet, and basically that is just to hold the head from moving. It doesn't even really need to be tight. In fact, you can just put pins in it and you'll be fine, with a key on the other side of it. But I'm going to tighten mine up, so you just don't want to squeeze that pipe so tight that it won't come back out, and then you have a hard time getting it out. So basically, I just take these two bolts out right here. I eliminated the spring, because if I hit it on this side with a pellet, especially at the 357 or the 50, it's going to spin that, and then I'll always have to spin it back by either shooting that side over there to spin it back, or just eliminate the spring and I don't have to waste a pellet. So I eliminated the spring and bolted this part to this part, which slides into each other. And then this part, you take these two bolts here out and it slides up off of there. This I put on there for, voila, my tray. So we'll put you back up here and show you the tray. So this is the tray that I made, and I'm going to stain that, make it look prettier. But right now I just got it together for demonstration purposes. And then this has got a slide in that you just slide it in, and it goes up over top of this here bracket. This way I don't have to have no bolts back here to hold this thing on. It just slides. You can slide it out from either side. So basically this here bracket down here was mainly to just keep this up to settle on, because the track keeps it straight. This is just to keep it from rocking outward. So that worked out pretty nice. So I'm probably going to have to 3D print me some of these end caps, because I can see now I done cracked the wood in it, putting screws in it. That's what happens when you don't pre-drill. But, so this here will come up off of there, the tray will slide out, targets will slide out. Basically all it is pizza box. That's right, DiGiorno. And they just slide them in there, and I make my own damn targets. I've got stickers, green stickers I'm thinking about using. Now, the reason that these lines are here, separating it, is these are going to be considered my end card. You see that right there? We want to make sure that we don't aim close to this line. We want to aim towards the center, because that's going to be where it's open. If you hit here, I don't know what will happen. Probably bend something I don't want to bend. So I made it so that when they're in the end position, you can see that piece of steel is there, so we don't want to shoot there. You notice the little one don't have that line, because it can never be put on the outside. There's rules, and that one has its rules. But this one is also the rest of that pizza box. So I got two targets out of a pizza box. And I eat a lot of pizzas. So I just slide my new target in it, slide the other one out, put the new one in it, and tighten her down. But I'm going to try to make sure that the legs can be in all the time, because I really don't like that stress on them. So I'm going to slide them in and see if I can get away with putting it up with them all the way in. So I'll have to find a perfect spot for it. Alright, so we're going to go set this thing up. Alright guys, this is where I plan to put it. This is where I had the other one, and this time it's going to be I can move it anytime I want to. I ain't got to dig no poles out and fill holes back in. So best just have one that I can just pick up and move. That's pitiful, man. You can't make nothing permanent around with me. I don't get it. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and put this together. You have a pellet trap. No, you don't. Not yet. Well, I'm missing one. Y'all take it? This is the part of the pizza I like. It does matter what kind of pizza you use. You don't want to make these targets out of just any kind of pizza box. You get the flavor of the pizza in your pellets, and you don't like that flavor, then you don't want to use it for a target. There's my slide out tray. I can slide out from either side. And I've got a cap on the top so the water don't go down the end of it. And I think that'll work just fine. We got 1/4 inch steel on the back. I'll give you a close-up here. Now this is at my 25-yard mark. That one out there is my 50 to 60 yard, which needs some attention. I need to actually make another one of those for out there. But for now, this is what I got. And in theory, when a pellet goes through one of these, it'll hit there and drop down into the tray. And we made it so that because we used L-channel, we needed to deflect that to go so it don't go and layer here on the rail. It'll deflect and go down into the tray because we want all of our pellets to go down in the tray. So, and these here are just pizza boxes that I eat, and sometimes it's them TV dinners or whatever, and they're the same size or big enough that I can make targets out of them. So you get 2 targets out of every meal. Imagine that, right? And this is the back side of it. I really didn't need to put anything here. It's actually right at the level of the bottom. And this is what does the aligning. Just long, probably 5 inches long, maybe 6, and that keeps it balanced because it also goes in a track right here. Just has to say. So I screwed up and welded the wrong place right there. Luckily, I can still get my stuff in now there. And I can adjust these to where these are almost level, because I got one more notch there I can go up, and going up lowers it. Same thing with the scope. Right is actually left, but you didn't know that, did you? So there's the bison pellet trap, and I decided against hanging my bowl here simply because I have no place to put all my magnetic stuff in the shop, and that's the original bull that made up the logo for Boison Workshop, so I really don't want it out in the weather. So I'd rather it be useful in the shop. Everybody can see where Boison came from. We came from the dirt, and that's where I found that logo. I found it in the dirt, about 2 inches below the dirt. Imagine that, right? So anyway, there's the target, built by Boison. And I wish I had enough material to make another one. I do have 2 more of these. I'd have to make one of these. I got an extra one of these. I don't have any adjusters, but we can make it so it ain't adjustable. Just put holes in it, put a bolt in it. But anyway, that's just nitpicking the damn thing, ain't it? Anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later. Just kidding, guys. I'm not going to leave you hanging like that. I've shot it with the 22. I've shot it with the 25. I've shot it with the 30. And I've shot it with the 357. And we're going to see if we have a 22, a 25, a 30, and a 357 pellet in the trap. So let's look and see. Look at that. Obliterated. Wow. It tore them things up, man. Alright, let's look. Let's look and see. With that, there's no way of knowing what was what. So I almost missed the 357. It almost hit the damn track. So I gotta be careful with that. I was aiming for here. Or no, I was aiming for one mark high and misjudged it. I forgot that that thing was set at 50 yards. Alright, this is the 22. It just scratched the paint. Alright, then we got the 357. Scratched the paint. Alright, so let's slide this out. This is the 25 caliber. Just scratched the paint. Alright, so let's go on over here to the 30 caliber. Same thing. It's as smooth as a baby's hind end right there. So all it did was scratch the paint. So I think this pellet trap is going to be a good trap for a long time to come. So, you know, and it's cheap to run, and you can see for yourself. I'm going to even pull it out from the other side so you can see that it's ambidextrous. And you can see the pellets that come out of that. So why don't we dump that out? And look what it did. Wow. I don't want to dump it here, but I plan to keep all that stuff. So that, so I'm just going to let it pile up in there and not worry about it. And then I can take those pellets and put them back in the burner and make new pellets, or slugs. I'm getting ready to try out a new slug for the 30 cal. I've never shot a slug out of my 30, either one of them for that matter, and pellets seem to serve me pretty decent. But I'm gonna try these, I'm gonna go to a 57 grain. But that last video, when you guys were seeing my review, that was not a good review for me, because I had a lot going on, and my scope was messed up. I'm still waiting on a new scope to replace that one. So, you know, when you got a bad scope, you're going to give a bad review. So I'm gonna try to rectify that. I got y'all right in that sun. I keep forgetting about that sun. Anyway, there you got it. The pellet trap by Bison just obliterates it. Just destroys those pellets. It hits, it's like instant splat. Turn them to dust, except for that 357. That's probably the one that broke in half, because that is well, that's an 81 grain, I believe. But anyway, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe. You guys have a good one. Later.